Hey, good morning. So we're out here today in Salisbury. We've come out because we come to the English heritage site of Stonehenge. So we're hopefully going to get some info about maybe how these rocks got here, don't know about that, the history of them, and just get an understanding of what they mean to the world. So we've got a bit of visitor centre here that we're going to go inside and hopefully get that history, and then we're going to take a walk up to the stones themselves. Would recommend bringing walking boots because it's a 1.5 mile hike, or you can get a bus, so it's up to you. We also do recommend bringing headphones because the audio guide is on your phone. So if you do enjoy the video throughout, give us a thumbs up, do appreciate it, it really does help us out a lot. It'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. Let's go and learn some facts. So as we come in, we've got the opening times, 1st of April to 27th of May, 9:30 till 5, 9:30 till 7, and then 9:30 till 5 again. So we've got quite a large car park here, loads of seating. We've got some facts on the back of this sign, but we're not going to show you those because we don't want to spoil anything. We've got this Airman's Cross here, and we've got some facts for that as well. We've got the big visitor centre. As you can see, we're kind of just fields for days. So we're at the main visitor centre. We've got a restaurant, we've got tickets, we've got the membership area, and we've got bathrooms. And then we've got the ticket prices here. Admission is $32.70 with the guidebook, $26.70 without, $75.40 2 adults and up to 3 children, $48.70 1 adult, 3 children, child's 22 and concessions are 30. And then if you don't want to do the donation, that's down here, £30.20p or $24.20 without the guidebook. So it's quite a varying range of prices, and it's quite steep on that. But we have pre-booked, so we go up to the right queue. So just outside the exhibition centre, we've got these QR codes to get the audio guide. They download that, it's about 35 megabytes. I think they probably got Wi-Fi here anyway. And then we got this overview of what you can do. So you've got the Stone Circle tour, you got the exhibition tour, and then you've got the landscape tour. So each of them is like 30 to 40 minutes or so. Quite a lot of things. So after this, we're going to go into the exhibition centre here, and you select your tour. So remember what I said about bringing your own set of headphones, so you can use those on your personal device. So as we come in, we've got this 3D projected room. So the first stop in here is a 360-degree room, and it's going to show you kind of the changing of the stones throughout the year. So up in the top right corner, you should see, yeah, here we go, we've got the date.
If you look at these 5, maybe the sit inside the circle and you're facing people. Okay, and that's where you get very quickly turn on your way. Okay, this way west.
And then the sunrise as well. So after watching the video, we come into the visitor centre. We got a whole bunch of exhibitions in here, and this is where you can use your audio guide as well. Got a history of the stones dating back to 4000 BC, just there, going through the whole timeline. And then over here we've got a depiction of what the Stonehenge area would have looked like with the outer ring. You see aubrey hole pillars, and then you see the trench that's been dug. That's where human remains would have been put in. So it's kind of like an ancient burial site. You see the heel stone. 500 years later, that's when the stone circle, they think, would have been there.
Would have been painful. So I'm told by somebody who is a doctor. Various people come and give me their opinion. Dentists come in. And go, ooh, wow.
So he was buried in what's called a long barrel.
Loads more artefacts.
Had anything from 1 to 30 people.
And pieces that may have been found around Stonehenge in little burial pits.
He was probably placed at the sky we suspect, which is why he's missing his feet and most of his ribs. Because when the birds small bones
And then we come here and we've got animal bones, deer antlers and things like that, and they're saying what they would have used is these deer antlers to like dig that trench around the stones. As we go over here, circles of stone, Stonehenge and prehistoric Japan. So they talk about the connections between the UK and Japan because they've got similar kind of similarities between them and the stone circles. So we're talking about surprising parallels. Both areas, UK and Japan, they made elaborate pots, used flake stone tools, as well as talking about differences and whatnot. And then we've got these videos that you can watch as well. Gives you a bit of a explanation of people that have researched the stones and the history of them in the past. So coming out of the visitor centre, we've got here recreations of houses that they found at Durrington. And these were kind of like really uncovered in 2006 when they were doing research, so they've done a recreation here. We get like a little bit of an explanation of the stones themselves, the building blocks of the area. We get to go inside. Just over here as well, we've got a recreation replica of Stone 60. Stone 60 weighs 28 tons, so they're talking about how you would move it. It would have taken 100 people to move the stone, on runners as well. So let's go inside these little houses. Little thatched roofs, kind of a mounded wall, like clay packed on, probably to like sticks. And then come inside. Is this their bed, would you say? I mean, it kind of looks like a bed. You've got the shelving unit there. You put your TV up there, maybe. And then, like, quite an elaborately put together roof. And then just on the floor, they've got little fire pit as well. But what they were saying on the audio guide is they did kind of find evidence of these pits around the area. So that sort of led them to believe that you had these kind of houses. And as you can see, it's like branches, and then they've packed on clay and mud mixed in with hay to make the walls. So this is the one we've just been in. Got another little one here, which is a little bit smaller, more of a angled roof. You got the door up here, and actually they're just using this as storage, but built in much the same way.
I suppose I'm really surprised there'd be 1,000 of these.
They excavated.
Must have come for to build.
Yes.
Do the building.
They excavated 10.
Yeah.
They found direct evidence of 100 of these.
Wow.
And the density.
So we're just finding out in this one, you just saw the footage of the inside. They're saying that they excavated 100 of them, but they believe that there are about 1,000 of them located around here. The gentleman was saying that people would travel in to essentially make them live for an extended period of time, and then they'd leave after they've had their time here, they've done what they need to do, and then they'd just take off again and somebody else would come in. So just outside the visitor centre we've got an exhibition of the Stonehenge landscape. So you show where we are at the visitor centre, and then you show Normanton Downs, Stonehenge, Cursus, and then like the whole region of the Salisbury Plains essentially. I'm going to go there in just a second, but this is some of what they've seen around the area. So you've got Stonehenge itself, you've got Woodhenge as well. I don't know where Woodhenge is. Around the area, I'm assuming. Okay, so yeah, it's right at the very top. Number 9 in Central Pane is Woodhenge. And then this is all kind of marked off on the map. So you see the little barrows, you see the cursus, which you see on the map there. So it's pretty cool. This whole area is kind of like, you know, the whole area is a monument, essentially. So we're going to leave the visitor centre now. I'm going to take the walk to Stonehenge. Remember what we said about bringing appropriate footwear? It's 1.5 miles walk. So we got ourselves a hot drink and a hot snack. We will take you into the cafe when we're back as well. But it looks like at the moment we don't actually need the boots, but we just bought them kind of as a precaution, so we'll let you know shortly as to whether you need them or not. But 1.5 miles, they reckon about 30 minutes, obviously just depends on how fast you are at walking, but let's go. So as we're walking along the road, we're listening to the audio guide, and it's saying one of the parts, as we showed you, or we just gave you a brief overview of the guide, is the landscape tour. Now, that is kind of over there in that tree line that you see. It will take you really off-road, cross-country. Here's the shuttle buses, by the way. And you've got essentially like an hour tour that you can do kind of off-road. You'll see the cursus, which they were saying, which is the Latin word for a racetrack. You'll see mounds, which are like burial mounds, burial barrows and stuff like that. You see people in Central Pane just walking over there now. So there is more to do here. Now, we're not going to do that because it's cold and it takes about an hour. But there is a few things to see on the audio guide, and you're essentially seeing a lot of that model that we showed you back there. So we decided to come a little bit closer to the landscape tour area, and we've got this sign here that says explore the Stonehenge landscape. So you've got the Stonehenge cursus, and obviously you've got the little thing saying we are here, and it's just between this is the wooded area, so this is the wooded area here on the left. That's next to us, and then you see the cursus in the line up there. You've then got the barrows. Now those are kind of just over there, central pane, middle of the landscape. And then you've got kind of a little depiction of it as if you're looking at it. So where the people are walking just there in the central pane, they're walking along the cursus. So just walking through the fields now, we've got these barrows, as we said, the burial mounds, I believe what they are. And they are completely fenced off, so you can't really go into them. You've got barbed wire fence around them. But they were saying these have been a little bit destroyed. There's some more over there that have kind of been destroyed through ploughing the fields and whatnot, because these are now owned by National Trust, but I can't imagine they would have been the entire time. So they weren't necessarily as protected as they are now. So just as you come in, like, you can kind of park all the way at the side of the road here, but then there's a gentleman that's just checking tickets there. This is where the shuttle bus will drop you off. They just come around, do a little circle. You've got tons of sheep. If you've come in recent history, this was where the historic visitor centre was. It's all changed, and they've got a proper visitor centre in place now, as you've seen through this video. So we've got more information panels that show you where you are, the distance from everything. So obviously you know the stones, you've got the avenue, which is a 10-minute walk to the northeast there, and then you've got the cursus barrows that we just saw, which are 10 minutes to the northwest. So here we go, this is what we've come here to see. So we've got the stones themselves. You've got the mound going around, and then you've got like the ditch just around the outside as well. Don't think you really need your boots if you're going to come on the shuttle bus or anything like that. But you can see the mounds all around the outside of the stones themselves, and then you see little stones sort of just dotted around the outside of the main ones. So this is the heel stone here. So what they're saying is essentially this is where you would see the sunrise and sunset just over this stone. So in the winter you'd see the sunset here, and in the summer you'd see the sunrise here. And it would be going between the monoliths there, right in the centre. So this is why they come in midwinter, midsummer to celebrate, do rituals, all sorts like that. It's like a celebration. So this is the heel stone, as we said. Got one of the mounds just behind us. Loads of sheep around here. You've got the slaughter stone in front of us, right in front of the main monoliths themselves. So this in front here was called the slaughter stone, and they thought it was a place that would be slaughtering human sacrifices and things like that. The Druids back way back when. Now that wasn't necessarily correct, but the name has kind of stuck since then. You can see the ditch going all the way around. So we're talking about the structures, the shapes of the stones, the sizes. If you look through the back there, you can see how well shaped the stones and lintels are, whereas some of the ones at the front aren't as well shaped. They've just kind of been placed more so than anything. So they're suggesting that these were kind of added after the fact, and essentially just people couldn't be bothered. They weren't needed to impress people as much as the ones over the other side were. So you do get a lot of information on the audio guide, so we do really recommend downloading that app when you come in. Definitely something that's needed. So we're just heading into the kind of circle of the stones now. See the dip that we're going down. And they're saying this is actually built before the Druids. So we've got these little holes here, the Aubrey holes. And if you remember when we had a look at the very beginning in the visitor centre, we saw that circle of wooden poles around the outside, so they reckon that this is what these little dots were for. See one there, see another one in the centre, going round and round and round, and that's to signify where these pillars were. So you've got a lot of work they've done, conservation work, so you've got visibility of concrete to sort of keep it going. They've actually moulded these together as well, just to make sure that they sort of live on in the future and make sure that it is preserved. Walking route goes back round where we saw, and we're going to take the shuttle bus back because, as we said, it took us like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get here. One shuttle bus every couple of minutes, so you're really not going to be waiting too long. We're off the shuttle bus, and of course we exit via the shop, as is always the case. So you got lots of Stonehenge related gear. Ooh, stones in a tin. Stonehenge in a tin. Oh, that's quite cool. Let's have a look. Oh my goodness.
We've got a mini Stonehenge in a tin. A tiny, tiny tin.
Snow globe. Miniature one. This one's slightly different. Ooh, this is what they reckon it actually looked like way back when versus now. And then you've got like wooden models, you've got magnets, key rings, t-shirts, varsity jackets, why not? Hoodies, sweets, calendars, everything, you name it, they got it. This is quite cool. Monopoly and Cluedo. It's an English Heritage Monopoly. Pretty cool. So you actually got like homeware and stuff like that as well. Other mitts, coasters. Yeah, random blankets, bottle openers and notebooks and all sorts like that. And then just loads of books and art. This is particularly cool. One of my favourite things in the shop is a cushion, like a neck cushion. And then as we exit the shop, over there we've got the cafe. So just coming into the cafe, got a large selection of cold drinks, sandwiches, children's meals, crisps, and then you can get your teas, your coffees. You can get hot sandwiches here with sausage rolls, pasties, paninis and all that kind of thing, as well as some sweet goods as well. And then you've got a large seating area. So that's the end of our time here at the Stonehenge National Heritage Site, and we had a pretty cool day. Now, I would say this is a little bit of a pricier day out for what it is. You can go up there, drive along the road, park up and see the stones from the field, but the visitor centre is really cool, and there's a lot to see in the visitor centre. You've got the history, you've got the artefacts that they've dug up, and all things like that. So that's something that we would recommend seeing. I think it's something you do have to do if you're a visitor to the UK. This is something you have to do at least once. If you do have the ability, I would say bring boots, like we said, throughout, because it can get a little bit mucky if it's been a particularly rainy day. Walking through the fields, you do want to have boots on so you're not going to get trainers wet. Also, come early. There's quite a queue behind us now, and when we got here this morning at about 10:30 in the morning on Sunday, it was dead, nobody around, and the visitor centre was quite empty. So come as early as possible, spend the day, and then you can get out of here at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But overall, we had a pretty good day. Definitely recommend checking out that audio guide. There are a lot of facts in there that you should really listen to, and you learn so much more from that, and you don't have to read everything that's on the signs, but you will need to bring your headphones to make use of that. So if you guys did enjoy the video throughout, give us a thumbs up. Do appreciate it. It really does help us out a lot, and it'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks.